Hello folks and welcome to Friday's edition of Magoo Sports News. We have got ourselves an absolutely action-packed weekend coming up of sport. It's Friday as well, so everybody's in a good mood. We also had a few sporting action going on this week. There was a few things with the football and also the darts, so let's get cracking and have a good show. So what happened this week? We've had a few things on the go. Basically, Manchester City played Stoke. The game itself 3-0 to Man City, which makes them above Arsenal, which means they don't have to qualify for the Champions League. Now, this is a huge bit of news, because what it means is that will Carlos Tevez stay with Man City? At the end of the day, he gets paid a lot of money, he's going to be in the Champions League, and he's going to be playing with probably the best players in the world. Trouble is, he doesn't like living in Manchester. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that guy over the summertime. Stoke City, well, result didn't really mean much for them. I mean, they want to finish as high as they can, but it was still a good game. Also, the Championship playoffs. Now, I have to actually step back a moment and apologise for my predictions. Both teams that I said would go through didn't go through. The games themselves were absolutely fantastic. Swansea basically beat Nottingham Forest 3-1. They were 2-0 up. Nottingham Forest scored with 10 minutes to go. You're thinking, oh, it's going to be an amazing end to the game. And then an idiot defender tries to click the ball back into the box. He misses the ball, and then the Swansea players basically pick it up and score a goal, with the goalkeeper obviously up the other end to score a goal. Also Reading, Reading absolutely destroyed Cardiff. It was such a shame. It was at Cardiff's home ground as well, so they were so disappointed. 3-0, and to be honest with you, Cardiff just didn't look like they were at the races that day. So we also had the Europa League final, and I have to give a big thumbs down to this because it was so boring. I mean, Braga were disgraceful. I don't know how they beat all these good teams to get to the final, but I mean, every time they had like 2 or 3 shots on goal, and every time they were one-on-one, they just fluffed it. I mean, Porto were no much better. They scored the first goal, and then they just kind of defended, and it just petered out. I didn't particularly enjoy the game, but still, Europa League win for Porto. Now, I have to give a wee mention to their manager. The guy's name is Andre Villas-Boas. Now, he's only 33 years old. Damn, that guy's younger than me. So anyway, this guy basically started his career. What happened was that he lived in the same apartment block as Sir Bobby Robson, and apparently they had an argument one day, must have met in the hallway or something, and this guy basically argued with Bobby Robson about playing a certain player and playing a certain system. Bobby Robson was so impressed with this guy's knowledge of football and his tactics that he decided to give him a job at Porto. And ever since then, he basically worked his way up, became assistant manager to Jose Mourinho. Now the geezer's 33 years old, earning a shed load of money, and he's managing a top European club. Brilliant story. Guy's a legend. Fair play. So another bit of news was Paulo Di Canio got named as Swindon manager. I mean, Swindon, Paulo Di Canio, it's going to be a tricky one. We'll see how watch out for them next season, see how they get on anyway. So the other sports that were going on, basically Andy Murray pulled out of an event on Thursday. He was supposed to be playing some exhibition match. He had an injury, so everyone was a bit concerned that he might not make the French Open. That starts obviously on Sunday, but he's going to be okay, so that's fine. In the golf, the Volvo Match Play Championships has started. Kind of a strange event. They play a group stage and then they move on into the sort of semi-finals and the final on Saturday and Sunday. But Lee Westwood and Luke Donald are vying it out for the world #1 spot, so could be interesting, one to watch out for. And in the darts, the Premier League came to a culmination, and it was an amazing night of darts. Semi-finals and final on the same night. Adrian Lewis hammered Phil Taylor. I think that's Phil Taylor at the end of him, because he started wearing glasses to play darts and he just didn't feel confident about it, and he hasn't really done much since he started wearing the glasses. In fact, he was so annoyed at having to wear them, he doesn't wear his glasses for playing, and that's why he can't see the dartboard. So anyway, A.G. Lewis went through and played against Gary Anderson, who beat Raymond van Barneveld. Amazing match. The final itself, Gary Anderson walked away with it. He beat the world champion. I think it was 9 legs to 4, but he was 8-1 up at one point. An amazing game to watch. So, and that's essentially all the sport that happened this week. So moving on. As I said, moving on, let's have a look what we've got coming up this weekend, and I cannot wait for all this sporting action. I just hope it rains again so that I don't feel guilty. I sit in and watch sport all weekend, but it's great. So let's have a look. Football obviously we'll start with, and it's the absolute amazing end to the season, to the Premiership. The relegation battle goes down to 5 teams, all within a point of each other. And the great thing is, as you can see, Wolves have such an important game. They play against, let's have a look, and basically there's a lot of other games. I honestly think that Birmingham will go down. I honestly think that Blackpool will go down as well, so have a watch for that. And if you've got Sky Sports, they're actually going to show 3 simultaneous games together, so you can see who's going down and when. It's going to be great. It's on Sunday, so hold off till then. In the Rugby League, that game I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, Castleford versus Wakefield. Now this basically is a local derby in all manner. The towns are separated by about 3-4 miles, and in Rugby League it's such a great rivalry. That's on BBC One at 2:30 tomorrow. Tomorrow being Saturday, of course, so watch out for that one. It's going to be a grudge match. Hopefully we'll see some good fights in it as well. So moving on, the tennis. What a great weekend we've got coming up. Sunday starts with the French Open. It's the second major of the year. These are the biggest tournaments. If you don't normally watch tennis, then you should watch these ones because it's the majors. Andy Murray has been drawn against a qualifier. Elena Baltacha, British girl. Probably haven't heard of her, but she's been drawn against a qualifier as well. Can Andy Murray improve on his best ever quarterfinal? Can he get to the semis? We'll wait and see. Boxing. Got an amazing night of boxing on Saturday night. Now there's a guy called De Gale versus Groves. Now this guy Groves, I've seen him fight a couple of times and he is tough. Carl Froch, who was in that league, says it's a 50-50 match, but this is going to be an almighty fight. And there's another fight as well, which is Nathan Cleverly. His opponent is some Polish guy called Kuziemski. Now the only reason he's fighting this Kuziemski guy is because the other 2 guys pulled out. One of them pulled out with an injury and the second guy failed at the weigh-in. So this guy's like the 11th best boxer in that division. So it's going to be a one-sided affair. I wouldn't bother watching that one. But the other one, definitely give it a watch. Now also the Formula 1 on Sunday. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. Now, I know there's a lot of Formula 1 fans out there, but I would give this one a miss, to be honest, because the Red Bulls are already in practice beating everybody else by about 2 or 3 seconds. If you want to watch a boring race with Red Bull winning 1 and 2, then certainly watch it. But me, personally, I'd rather watch paint dry. Now I will touch on the user comments, because there was a couple of user comments. First and foremost came from Boom, and he obviously wanted me to mention the Rugby League on Saturday, so again, watch this game, it's going to be a beauty. And the other user comment comes from Boom, and yes, that was my mum wandering around in the background. She's not here today, so no movement. So folks, that's all we've got time for today. Once again, thanks very much for watching the show. If you do have any user comments, then write them in the section below. Maybe have a chat about a contentious issue. What do you think about video evidence in football? Maybe what about Andy Gray getting sacked from Sky Sports? That would be an interesting debate. I've got a few comments on that. I will have a touch on it in my next show. So I'm off to anyway. Enjoy all this sporting action over the weekend, folks. Get in yourself and watch it. See how it goes. And I'll catch you guys on Monday.